God's advice today. Have you ever felt that God is trying to speak to you, yet in the busyness of life, His signs go unnoticed? This message invites you to pause, reflect, and open your heart. Perhaps this is exactly what you needed to hear today. Watch until the end with openness, and if these words touch you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to receive more messages like this. Don't forget to check the pinned comment for a 1-minute prayer and a recommended message to help strengthen your faith even more. God said, "My child, quiet your mind now and allow me to take the center of your thoughts, for this moment is not ordinary. It was chosen by heaven to reposition your soul, strengthen your spirit, and reignite what seemed to have lost its shine. I know exactly where you are inside, tired, carrying a weight you often hide from others, battling between what you feel and what you believe, searching for strength in days that demanded far more from you than they appeared to. I saw your silent nights, your unspoken questions, and even those tears you wiped away quickly so no one would notice. You wonder if you are ready for a deep change in your life and in the lives of those you love, but I tell you, nothing has been lost. Every tear became a spiritual seed, and I, your God, am the Lord of the harvest. Today, as you listen to me, I pour over you a renewal that is not emotional but spiritual, a renewal that flows through your mind, touches your emotions, and realigns your purpose. I enter the places darkened by doubt and fill them with light. I move through the areas that were stuck and set them into motion. I place my powerful hand on the doors that seemed shut and open them. As it is written, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. John chapter 8 verse 12. Today, that light touches your path and prepares you for a real and definitive turning point. My child, I watch you when the world sees nothing. I see your silent struggles, your hidden battles, your thoughts trying to reorganize themselves while you outwardly try to stay strong. I know when you hold back your pain, when you push yourself to say, "It will work out," even when your chest can barely hold hope. And it is in that deep place of your soul that I work. I do not ask you for perfection, I ask you for surrender. There are battles you have faced that no one would understand, losses you carry that few would recognize, fears you have never spoken, but I know them all. Before you formed each question, I had already prepared the answer. Before the anguish touched your heart, I had already arranged the relief. And before delay seemed to overshadow your life, I had already aligned the perfect time. Nothing is late, everything is moving according to what I am shaping inside you. Comment, I rest because God takes care of everything for me. Your prayers were never lost, and your words never stopped at the ceiling of your home, because every cry was recorded before my throne and every tear collected by my hands. Nothing you lived was wasted, every pain shaped your sensitivity, every battle trained your endurance, every silence strengthened your essence. Even when you asked for quick answers, I was working not only in the situation but in you, forming character, depth, and spiritual maturity. Now that I draw you closer, I want you to understand that this moment is not casual, it is a divine calling, a sacred invitation to a place only those I prepare can enter. There is an anointing being released upon you right now, an inner strengthening that does not come from outside but from my Spirit guiding you, taking you by the hand, and leading you away from fear. I am uprooting old insecurities, breaking limitations, and opening your eyes to revelations you were not ready to receive before. What is about to happen in your life will not be the result of human effort but of divine intervention, for now that I prepared you to endure, I also prepare you to receive. What once seemed like delay was the perfect time for your soul to mature enough to carry the greatness that is coming. Comment: I believe in the promise and wait for God's dawn. I know many times you believed your effort held no value, that your work was invisible, that your dedication was unseen, but I saw every detail. I saw you fighting with no strength, advancing even when exhausted, believing even when your faith trembled. Every tired step you took was counted before me as honor, faithfulness, and perseverance. While you thought nothing was happening, I was working behind the scenes, realigning environments, moving structures, and breaking spiritual barriers you didn't even know existed. There are blessings I can only release when the heart is ready to sustain them, and now your heart is ready, matured, refined, strengthened. You have no idea how much you grew while thinking you were standing still, because my children grow in the fields of waiting, where I remove illusions, cleanse vision, deepen roots, and build character. And now the time has finally come when your roots are deep enough to sustain the extraordinary fruits that are about to emerge, fruits that will not be temporary but lasting, fruits that will bless not only you but many around you. What I am releasing over your life is the harvest of everything you lived, endured, and continued believing through. Comment: I trust the process God built within me. Did you know that there is an effective method to attract greater financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep-seated beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It had a profound impact on my life, and we would like to invite you to explore this special practice. When we trust that God wants to act in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you would like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing content that inspires and transforms, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment, so you can discover how this technique can also help you on your journey. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We deeply appreciate your trust and support. My child, listen, and my God will supply all your needs. Philippians chapter 4 verse 19. Not some of them, not a portion of them, all. I know that in your mind you look at your current reality and wonder, but how? From where will it come? This is where the supernatural begins. The provision I am releasing over your life is not ordinary. It does not depend on the economy, on specific people, or on natural pathways. I am moving resources in your favor, awakening hearts that were previously indifferent, opening doors that have been locked for years, and connecting opportunities that once looked impossible. I saw the moment you checked your bank balance and felt that pressure in your chest, that insecurity about tomorrow. And in that exact moment, I determined, I will intervene. You are not alone in this financial battle, my child. My hand is already in motion, my decree has already been released, and what once appeared impossible will start aligning in unexpected ways. Do not fear, heaven itself is working for you. Comment: I believe that God is my inexhaustible source. My child, I also saw when your heart trembled. When you thought that maybe you were not worthy, not chosen, or that something you did removed you from the reach of my blessing. And I tell you with eternal authority, nothing can remove you from my love, nothing can cancel my plans, and nothing can stop my movement in your life. The cycles of pain you went through do not define who you are, they reveal who you are becoming. You did not lose time, you were being prepared. You were not forgotten, you were being protected. And everything that looked like delay was, in truth, divine safeguarding. When I quieted your heart, when I allowed seasons without answers, it was not absence, it was strategy. I was moving invisible pieces, rearranging circumstances, and building pathways that could only be revealed at the perfect moment. And now that moment has arrived. You are stepping into a season of such deep restoration that even what you believed was lost forever will return transformed, strengthened, and multiplied. Comment: I receive the restoration God prepared for me. Hold this firmly. He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. Philippians chapter 1 verse 6. Nothing in your life will remain unfinished. Everything I initiated within you, every awakening, every promise, every hidden movement behind the scenes, will be completed in its fullness. This is the season where what was disconnected begins to align, where what was stagnant begins to move, where what seemed lifeless begins to breathe again. My Holy Spirit is expanding your capacity, broadening your vision, and preparing your inner self to carry the magnitude of what is coming. You will not receive something small, you will receive something that fills the empty spaces and restores what was once depleted. The transformation will be so profound that even those around you will perceive that something supernatural has touched your life. Your heart, once accustomed to heaviness, will learn the rhythm of divine lightness. And this lightness will come because you will finally understand that I never abandoned you. I was maturing you, shaping you, and strengthening you for this very moment. Comment: I believe that God will finish everything He started in my life. This is the moment to abandon every fear, every insecurity, and every thought that diminishes who you are in me, because what I am placing in your hands now requires courage, positioning, and unwavering faith. The blessing that is coming to you is not small, it is great, and great blessings require great inner space. That is why I worked so deeply within you. I refined you, purified you, disciplined you, taught you, and aligned you, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Everything you endured was shaping the capacity you now carry. And now, what once seemed distant, unreachable, too heavy, or too improbable will become accessible before your eyes. You will be astonished by the speed of the changes, by the precision of the connections, and by the beauty of what I am manifesting. Your life will not follow the common pattern, because your story carries the mark of my direct intervention. Walk without fear, for my favor goes ahead of you, my power accompanies you, and my grace surrounds you on every side. Nothing can stand against what I have decreed, and nothing can stop the unfolding of the destiny I have written for you. Comment: I walk without fear because God goes before me. My son, listen deeply, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10. Your doubts are being dissolved right now by my Spirit. The restlessness that weighed on your soul is being lifted. What once seemed stuck is now being unlocked. The heavens are opened over you. I know how hard you fought to believe in the midst of so much silence. I know how you tried to remain firm even when nothing seemed to change on the outside. But now I want you to understand, this is the moment when my voice breaks the silence. This is the moment when the invisible becomes visible. This is the moment when the winds shift. What once seemed closed now opens. What once seemed impossible now moves. What once seemed finished now blossoms. I guided you carefully to this point because I knew that only now would you have the structure to live the abundance I prepared. Comment: I do not fear, because God is with me in everything. The old cycle ends today. The season of scarcity loses its strength. The phase of pain disperses. The time of waiting comes to an end. What comes now is restoration, provision, honor, growth, and expansion. You are not receiving just a miracle, you are receiving a new destiny. I am opening doors that no one can shut. I am bringing answers you have waited for years to receive. I am moving opportunities that change stories. And all of this because I loved you on good days and difficult days alike. You belong to a bright future prepared by my own hands. Walk with confidence, head lifted, soul steady, because what is coming is not subtraction, it is multiplication. It is not improvisation, it is promise. It is not coincidence, it is purpose. Live from this moment forward with the certainty that my goodness will follow you daily and that nothing can stop what I have decreed over your life. This is your time, my son. Heaven has declared your harvest. Comment: I receive the new season God has opened for me. My child, listen with the depth of your spirit, because what is unfolding right now is not an ordinary moment. You have walked through seasons where nothing seemed to move, where the silence felt heavy, where you wondered if anything was shifting behind the scenes. Yet, while you saw stillness, I was setting foundations. While you felt delay, I was building your miracle backstage, in the realm your eyes could not reach. Today is not simply another day on the calendar, it is the moment heaven has chosen to intervene. This is the hour that has been marked for a divine turning in your story. Months from now, you will look back and say, that was the moment everything changed. That was when God stepped into my journey in a way I could feel, see, and recognize. I want you to record this very instant, because it is a spiritual landmark. Hold the date, hold the hour, because this is your encounter with the supernatural breaking into the natural. This is the moment when what has resisted you begins to bow. What has limited you loses influence. What has drained you releases its grip. You have fought so much, more than many know. You have cried silently, carried burdens quietly, and walked through battles no one else could understand. I saw every inch of effort. I saw every door that shut in your face, every opportunity that slipped away, every attempt that seemed to crumble, every no that pierced your confidence, and every humiliating moment that made you question your worth. I stored every tear, every disappointment, every unanswered prayer, not to punish you, but to turn them into fuel for the miracle now rising. For the deeper the valley, the higher the mountain. The darker the night, the more radiant the dawn. And child, your dawn is not approaching from far away. It is not in the distance. It is standing here, now, touching this very breath you are taking. And there is something I desire from you in this sacred moment. Become my voice to someone else who is breaking silently. Someone who is weary, someone who is standing on the edge of giving up, someone who needs to know they have not been abandoned. When you speak hope into another soul, you multiply the hope within your own. When you pour encouragement into another life, you become a vessel through which my abundance flows without obstruction. A stagnant pool dries up, but a river that gives never runs empty. When you choose to share, to lift, to bless, to strengthen, your life becomes a river. And rivers never dry. As you release light, I increase light in you. As you give, I amplify what flows back toward you. When you reflect my heart, you draw heaven's favor in uncommon ways. So share what you have received, not out of obligation, but out of revelation that what you give becomes the doorway through which I can send even more. Now listen closely, for I am about to decree something over you, and when I decree, it is not a suggestion. It is not a possibility. It is not an uncertain probability. My decree is law in the spiritual realm. It is a command creation recognizes and aligns with. I am declaring a supernatural breakthrough over your finances, one that does not follow human logic. I am not speaking about a gentle improvement or a gradual shift. I am speaking of something that overrides natural processes, something only heaven can produce. Resources you never expected will find their way to you. Not scraps, not leftovers, not coins or fragments, substantial provision, unexpected sums that cause you to pause and marvel. You'll ask, where did this come from? How did this unfold? And your heart will know the answer instantly. It was me. It was my hand, my timing, my orchestration. Doors that stood shut for years will open effortlessly. Contacts you could never reach will reach out to you. Opportunities that once seemed impossible will appear without explanation. People you never imagined would notice your work, your talent, your presence. They will come forward. Conversations will shift. Perception will change. Those who overlooked you will now see you differently. Those who dismissed you will recognize the value I placed within you. For when I mark someone with my seal, the world senses it. When I cover a life with grace, gates open that no human force could unlock. I will give you more than what you asked for, more than what you imagined, because I am not a God of barely enough. I am not a God of scarcity or limitation. I am the God of overflow, of abundance, of more than sufficient provision. I bless so that you may not merely survive, but advance, flourish, and elevate. My abundance is never just for your comfort but for your calling. It expands you so your life can become a channel of blessing to others. I do not design your steps for a life of constant struggle, counting coins, or living in fear of lack. I created you to walk in freedom, freedom from financial anxiety, freedom from the chains of scarcity, freedom from the weight of not knowing how tomorrow will unfold. And I will guide you into this freedom with precision. I will reveal step by step what to activate, what to release, what to embrace, what to build, and what to walk away from. You will not journey alone. My voice will accompany you. My wisdom will illuminate your decisions. My spirit will strengthen your resolve. Every stage of the path will be walked together. I never make a promise and then walk away. When I speak, I remain. When I direct, I guide. When I commit, I stay until the promise becomes reality. But for this next season, you must remain connected to my voice, for instructions will come in layers. Clarity will arrive piece by piece. I will whisper direction into your spirit. I will highlight moments, opportunities, and people. I will show you when to move, when to pause, when to speak, and when to stay silent. Keep your spiritual ears open. Do not disconnect. Do not drift away. Stay close, stay attentive, stay sensitive to my leading. The messages I have prepared for you are not random. They are strategically aligned with the miracle unfolding in your life. This is your time, my child. The shift is not ahead of you. It is happening in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this unfolding now. Everything that once resisted you will begin to work in your favor. The weight that followed you will lift. The lack that shadowed you will break. The fear that whispered lies will fall silent. You are stepping into a divine current, one created specifically for you. And as you walk in it, you will see doors open by themselves, resources align unexpectedly, and people positioned perfectly to bless you. This is not by chance. This is by decree. This is your appointed miracle, your heaven-ordained turning point, and nothing in the universe can stop what I have set into motion in your favor. Now I will give you something sacred, something I do not entrust to everyone. What I am placing in your hands is reserved for those who have chosen to walk with me beyond surface-level belief, for those who hunger for depth, clarity, and intimacy. I am giving you a sign, a divine confirmation that will travel with you through the upcoming days, weeks, and months. It will not be a vague echo or an accidental coincidence, but a living marker of my voice at work in your life. Throughout history, I have spoken to my people through signs because I understand the human heart. I know how easily the world can cloud your perception. I know how quickly faith can waver under the weight of routine, responsibilities, and unseen pressures. I know how subtle doubt can be when it whispers in moments of exhaustion. That is why I choose to give you something tangible, something recognizable, an intimate personal emblem that belongs solely to the two of us. I do not address my children as if they were nameless masses. I speak individually, intentionally, intimately. I have always done this, from the rainbow that sealed my covenant with Noah, to the burning bush that drew Moses near, to the guiding star that led seekers to the presence of the Messiah. My signs have always been a language of the divine, a bridge between the spiritual and the physical, a reminder that my promises are anchored in reality. I know the very thoughts that rise within you as you listen. Right now, your spirit is stirred, your heart is awake, your faith is ignited because my presence surrounds you and my words touch your inner being. But I also know the rhythm of life, the weight of obligations, the pressures of tomorrow. I know that when the world surrounds you with noise again, when bills demand attention, when responsibilities return, when familiar problems stand in front of you, your confidence may be challenged. Doubt may attempt to creep in, fear may try to reclaim space, and the old voice of anxiety may try to cloud your clarity. That is why I am giving you a sign that will intercept those moments. It will appear precisely when fear tries to paralyze you, when uncertainty tries to speak louder than truth, when discouragement attempts to take root. And when this sign appears, your spirit will instantly remember this moment. You will recall my words, my decree over your life, my promises that were spoken with authority. You will be reminded that I have already set in motion a transformation in your life that cannot be reversed and cannot be hindered. The sign will not come randomly. It will be perfectly timed, perfectly placed, designed to reawaken your faith each time your heart needs strength. This sign will appear in unexpected places, sometimes subtle, sometimes bold, sometimes arriving in a moment you least anticipate. And when it shows itself, I want you to pause, breathe deeply, and declare with conviction, "Thank you, God, because you are working." Gratitude is not an optional gesture in the spiritual realm, it is a weapon, a spiritual accelerator, a profound declaration of trust. Gratitude before the miracle arrives is faith. Gratitude in the midst of uncertainty is surrender. Gratitude before the breakthrough manifests is agreement with heaven. Each time you give thanks upon seeing the sign, you are announcing to the universe that you believe my promise more than the evidence of your circumstances. You are saying that you trust my timing more than your human understanding. You are declaring that what I have spoken is already unfolding, even if your natural eyes cannot yet see it. And such gratitude draws the miracle closer, aligns your spirit with divine flow, and prepares your heart to receive what I have ordained for you. This sign is not meant for the masses, it is for those who are prepared to step into a higher dimension of spiritual perception. It is for those whose hearts are ready to witness the supernatural breaking into the natural, for those who long to experience my movement not only in whispers but in undeniable manifestations. And I chose you for this not because your life is perfect or because you have mastered every spiritual discipline, but because I have seen the sincerity of your heart. I have seen your desire to grow, your longing to understand, your hunger for transformation. I have watched you struggle, but I have also watched you rise. I have seen your wounds, but I have also seen your resilience. I have witnessed your doubts, but I have also witnessed your faith. And in my wisdom, I determined that you are ready for a prophetic confirmation that will mark your life forever. My child, what I am revealing to you in this moment is vast, far greater than anything you have imagined or understood so far. The message unfolding before you carries layers of spiritual depth, and each layer is a doorway into a higher dimension of alignment with my purpose. When I speak of what is coming, I do not speak in fragments or half-finished intentions. I speak in fullness, in abundance, in perfection multiplied across every area of your life. What I am about to pour over you will not be simple, nor subtle, nor incomplete. It will be complete upon complete, blessing upon blessing, perfection upon perfection. The perfection I am releasing will touch your finances, your inner world, and your spirit with a magnitude that only heaven can generate. What concerns your resources will stabilize, expand, and overflow. What has caused emotional unrest will dissolve into peace, joy, and radiant expectation. What belongs to your spiritual life will grow roots so deep that nothing will be able to shake your conviction again. And all of this comes wrapped in a divine signature, my own mark placed upon your journey at this precise moment. This is not a message for everyone. This is a revelation reserved for you because I have chosen to seal this season with clear evidence of my presence and my promise. Now I will reveal to you a mystery, a spiritual principle of immense force, one that governs the expansion of everything I release into your life. When you plant a seed, when you offer a blessing, when you sow hope into the life of another, I do not merely guard what you give. I do not simply preserve it. I multiply it. I take what you release and I expand it beyond what your eyes can see. A blessing held tightly remains small, limited to its original size, incapable of growing. But when you share, when you give, when you allow my goodness to flow through you like a river, I take that act and magnify it. I take that small spark of hope and turn it into a burning light. I take that miracle you witnessed in seed form and stretch it into areas of your life that you never even imagined needed restoration. Because in my kingdom, the laws are different. In my kingdom, expansion begins with surrender, and multiplication begins with generosity. Whoever clings ends up lacking, but whoever releases receives greater abundance. Whoever closes the hand remains empty, but whoever opens it finds that I fill it again, and again, and again, each time with more than before. So share what you carry. Share what you have heard. Share what has touched you. For every person who receives comfort, clarity, or strength through you becomes a seed that I will multiply back into your own journey. Before I show you the fullness of who you are today, I must remind you of who you once were. Not to shame you, not to hurt you, but to magnify the glory of what I have done within you. No one appreciates the brilliance of light until they have walked through shadow. No one values freedom until they have felt the weight of chains. And you, my child, carried chains, chains not made of metal but woven into the mind. You lived as a slave, not merely to scarcity in the material sense, but to the thoughts that suffocated your mornings. You would awaken with heaviness in your chest, burdened before taking your first breath of the day. Your first thoughts were not of possibility but of fear, fear of not having enough, fear of failing those who depend on you, fear of opening your bank account and seeing the same burden staring back at you. You carried the dread of unexpected calls, the anxiety of another payment due, the shame of possibly asking for help again. And that fear stole your breath, drained your joy, consumed your peace. It walked beside you at work, rode with you in silence, and laid down with you at night, whispering uncertainties into your mind until sleep felt impossible. You did not live in freedom, you lived in survival. This fear made you feel small. You saw your challenges as towering giants, impossible to overcome. You felt reduced, diminished, invisible beneath the weight of responsibilities. You looked at opportunities as if they belonged to others but never to you. You believed abundance was reserved for a chosen few, and somehow you were not among them. You convinced yourself that doors opened for others, not for you, that blessings recognized every name except yours. You watched others advance, be promoted, prosper, acquire homes, build families, travel, rejoice, and you wondered why those experiences always passed you by like distant realities meant for someone else. You felt unseen, unseen in the workplace, unseen in your efforts, unseen in your struggles, unseen in your dreams. Even when you reached out your hand, it seemed as if no one noticed. Even when you lifted your voice, it felt as though no one heard. You entered rooms hoping to be acknowledged, but silence greeted you instead. And somewhere in the deepest places of your heart, a question began to echo: have I been forgotten? Forgotten by people, forgotten by opportunities, and in your hardest moments, forgotten even by me. But I tell you now, my beloved child, you were never forgotten. You were being shaped. You were being prepared. I saw every tear you hid, every night you stayed awake wrestling with what felt impossible to overcome, every moment you wanted to give up but chose to keep moving anyway. I saw you trying to believe when everything around you contradicted hope. I saw your courage in the middle of your exhaustion. I saw your faith even when it wavered like a flickering flame. And while you thought I was silent, I was building. While you thought I was absent, I was aligning circumstances in ways you could not yet perceive. While you were asking, why not me, I was preparing the very answer that would silence that question forever. The days when you felt unseen were the very days in which I was designing visibility for your future. The seasons in which you felt empty were the seasons in which I was cultivating the capacity for greater fullness. You were not overlooked, you were planted. And a seed, once hidden beneath the soil, always seems forgotten, until the day it breaks through the ground. I need you to understand this. The version of yourself you mourned was temporary. The season of scarcity that tried to define you was not your identity, it was your classroom. Every limitation you faced was a training ground for the abundance you are stepping into. Every fear you battled was preparing you to recognize what courage truly feels like. Every closed door was preserving you from entering rooms too small for the greatness I placed within you. You thought you were losing, but you were being positioned. You thought you were behind, but you were being aligned. You thought you were delayed, but you were in divine timing. And now, what once oppressed your thoughts will no longer rule over you. You are not a slave to fear. You are not a slave to lack. You are not a slave to anxiety. I am breaking the chains that once gripped your mornings, that once weighed upon your chest, that once tightened around your hope. You are stepping into a new identity, one built on assurance, one built on purpose, one built on the confidence that comes from knowing that I, the God who shaped the universe, have chosen to reshape your story. So the person you are becoming is not accidental, it is intentional. I am lifting you from the ground where you once felt buried and raising you into visibility. I am placing your name in the right conversations, aligning your path with opportunities that once seemed unreachable, opening doors that no human hand can shut. What once felt distant is now approaching with clarity. What once felt impossible is beginning to unfold. What once felt like a dream too big for someone like you is now becoming the very reality you will walk into. The fear that used to suffocate you is losing its grip because I am filling you with a new breath, a new strength, a new perspective. You will no longer wake up in dread, you will wake up in expectation. You will no longer feel that scarcity defines you, you will see abundance flowing in ways you never imagined. You will no longer question if I remember your name. You will witness me move in your favor with precision, tenderness, and unmistakable power. And now, my child, I tell you this with divine certainty, your season of invisibility has ended. You are stepping into influence, into provision, into recognition not born of pride but born of purpose. You are stepping into the life that once felt reserved for others. You are stepping into the blessings you once thought were unreachable. You are stepping into the days you dreamed of during your hardest nights. You will see miracles unfold before your eyes. You will witness unexpected breakthroughs. You will experience favor that feels almost unreal. The people who overlooked you will witness my hand upon you. The circumstances that once intimidated you will bow to the strength I am placing within you. The opportunities that once passed you by will now be drawn toward you. And the voice within you that once whispered fears will now proclaim gratitude, confidence, and faith. For you are not who you were. You are rising. You are expanding. You are transforming. And everything that once broke you is becoming the soil from which your greatest blessings will grow. You are stepping into the fulfillment of everything I promised. And every signal, every appearance, every countdown you witnessed has been leading to this moment, the unveiling of the new you, the strengthened you, the restored you, the visible you. The one who will walk not in fear but in certainty. Not in scarcity but in overflow. Not in invisibility but in divine recognition. And as you rise, remember your gratitude, your pause, your breath, your whispered thank you, because as you do, you align yourself with everything I am releasing upon your life now. I hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If it touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who also needs to hear this word. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and a suggestion to strengthen your spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content like this. See you tomorrow.